today, my Friday started off with getting up early and going to a network meeting with Yorkshire Ladies and Padel Search, which is a racket game. It's a hybrid between, say, tennis and squash. And I thought I'd just go along and just show up, and I really enjoyed myself, getting to know the people. And also there was a brunch afterwards. It was really hot because it was indoors. They did open the doors, but it was just really hot. This video is a bit of a mishmash because my next clip will be Wednesday, where I'll be sanding my furniture down with Annie Sloan chalk paint. This is the result behind me. And then this Thursday, and then you'll come back to today, which is Friday, where I will be making you the overnight oats. And also, I'm going to kind of touch on friendship. Friendship is so important. If you're in a relationship, don't drop your friends. Always have your friends. They'll always be there for you. I have friends from being in the middle school, so when I was about 11, 12 years old. And then I met another friend, college. And then in my 30s, I've made other friends in university, kept in touch with two. And then I used to be in flower arranging. I used to enjoy being creative with flowers. And I met Wendy, and then I trained also as a reflexologist. And I met Jodie, and today I met a lady called Abby, who's also a coach, but she's a spiritual coach, as she explained to me. Let's go to Wednesday now. Happy Wednesday morning. We're having a heat wave in the UK. I started my day with overnight oats, which are coffee flavoured with pumpkin seeds, nut butter. I have the recipe, absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be using Annie Sloan chalk paint on this sideboard. Now, under this paint is actually a veneer. I've never been happy how I finished it. It's been always bugging me. Today, while my kitchen's nice and cool, it's really hot outside, I'm going to take the hardware off, and then I'm going to give it a good sand. I'll start on my journey of making this cabinet beautiful, and hopefully a lot better than what it looks like now. I'm outside now. You might be able to hear my cat behind me. The actual cabinet is too heavy for me to take it out on my own. I'm going to do the drawers first. I've taken the hardware off, which was the original hardware. Annie Sloan paint. When you open the tin, you need to give it a good stir. And get yourself a water mixer. You can paint Annie Sloan paint, chalk paint, any chalk paint, on anything without even a primer. When you're doing drawers, be careful not to have the paint too thick, because you need a good glide for when you put the drawer back into its space, otherwise it will stick. And the technique for doing the chalk paint is in thin layers. And now I'm going to go to a finer sanding block. So I'm back in the kitchen diner. I've sanded all this down. I've damp clothed it as well. I've used an abrasive sponge, sanding sponge, and then I went on to a fine one. I have opened my Annie Sloan. It's called Old Violet. It has like a bluey purple tinge to it. What I would recommend is to give it a good old stir. You need a bit of water and an atomizer to help you paint. So we're painting against time today, because the humidity, as you can tell by my hair, it's really sticky. I apologise for having started without you, but I'm going to show you how to do the side. The trick is you don't overload your paint on the brushes. I'm using Annie Sloan selection of her brushes. They really wash up really well. I haven't used any other brushes. I've used them for the last few years. They wash really well. If you drop any of the paint on the floor anywhere else, don't worry about it. It actually wipes off really easy with water. And then, it's a bit difficult doing it this angle for you. Just thin strokes down, atomizer from a distance. There you go. And it goes on beautiful like silk. Now, I will be moving house at some point. The house has gone up for sale. But it could take absolutely months to sell. It's out of my control. In the meantime, I'm just doing this. I could be in limbo. And like I say, it's out of my control. Can't do anything about it. I have to get on with things. But in the meantime, I'm doing this. And it's giving me pleasure. Today's Thursday. I started doing this cabinet chalk painting yesterday, and today I've put the 2 coats on of Annie Sloan chalk paint. It's come out a beautiful bluey grey with a tinge of purple in. Not quite sure, but it's beautiful. It looks really nice. It blends in with the corner and with the picture frame and the pink. And then I use the Annie Sloan matte lacquer, and what you normally do is add a little bit of water to make it a little bit not as thick, give it a good mix, and then I use a flat brush, and you do it very gently across all the furniture, and you do about 2 coats with a few hours drying time in between. And now it's cured, and now I've just literally put my bits and pieces back on. I'm quite happy with that. The handles are the original handles, and the brackets here. Overall, I feel really quite lucky to have this. This cabinet was originally my mother's. She passed away 3 years ago, and the auctioneers come round when they want to empty a house out, and they said, "Oh, brown furniture, nobody wants brown furniture." And I was heartbroken. So I thought, I brought it here, didn't go into my modern home. I know it's sacrilege, I used the chalk paint on it, but now at least I can use it, and I'm happy. Not too bad. It's solid, and it's not made out of MDF, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. And today, I had a good day today. I took the week off because I was supposed to be in Portugal, but that obviously fell through. I met my brother, Sam. I haven't seen him since my mum's funeral, which is nearly 3 years ago, and we've been just chatting away for 3 hours. Went to a lovely cafe. We sat in the cycle. It was just too hot to sit outside, and now I'm back home, back to Friday. Today I'm making overnight oats with coffee flavoured. Now, on a morning when I wake up, I always have to begin the day with 2 coffees spaced out, and that just gets me going basically. I made these oats a week ago for the first time, and I like them so much I'm going to make some more. Basically, I'm using rolled oats, 100 grams. Now the rolled oats are the coarse, not the fine type, because the rolled oats are more organic and less processed, and they will digest a lot slower, so they maintain your blood sugars far better. Use about 100 grams of rolled oats. I'm going to add 300 mils of milk. You can get any milk you like, but I'm rather partial to almond milk. You can have coconut milk, full fat, it's fine, whatever you like. And then it's 1 tablespoon of a heaped tablespoon of smooth nut butter. If you don't like nut butter, you could use perhaps tahini, which is sesame seed. And again, it's whatever you have in your kitchen. So you're getting good fats, good carbs, good protein. It's a good start to the day. Or if you're not a breakfast person, you know, you can have it for brunch. I also have 2 chopped dates to go in. They add sweetness as well. So there's no artificial sweetness in this. And then we add yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt, that's what I have, 2 tablespoons. I think last time I used just natural yogurt, but it doesn't matter. Whatever you have in the kitchen. It's 2 tablespoons approximately. I'm allowed to lick spoons. I'm allowed to do that. And now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds. These have, I believe, omega-3 in them. Again, this is really nutritional recipe. It'll break down, digest very slowly, and you'll fill you up, and you won't get the sugar cravings. Try to go for the shelled hemp seeds, not the milled ones, which are really fine, because again, because they're bigger particles, they'll digest slower. 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. Now, maple syrup isn't sweet like honey. It just gives a tiny bit, just a tiny bit of sweetness, but you don't need a lot because also the dates are quite sweet. So basically, that is the recipe. And then you just kind of mix, combine. It's so easy. And then you fill the jars, you put them overnight. They last up to 4 days. They lasted me that length of time, and they didn't taste off anything like that. It's like having a real big meal. It's so filling. So that usually takes me up to, I have this about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, at 4 o'clock, and end up having a kefir milkshake, a protein shake of fruit and a bit of creatine and pea protein, and I use my own kefir that I make every single day, every 24 hours. So recently I've been thinking about a niche as a coach, and throughout my many decades, and because I'm also going through a life change now, a new chapter in my life as a single person, my niche is helping people with life changes, whether it be empty nesting, divorce, grieving, or changing work, any aspect of life. And I help people navigate through that period of time, and that can be increase energy, help you gain more confidence in yourself, more focused, and help you just enter your next chapter much happier, a much happier person. We always, as we go in life, we're always evolving, things happen, sometimes unexpected. And for me, I have a bucket list of things I'd like to do, things that I didn't do. And I'm looking forward to doing them and sharing them with you. But I think it probably will end up, some of my items on my bucket list will be probably next year. But I have a few nice things in my diary to look forward to. And in August, I'm doing something out of my comfort zone yet again. I'm always doing something out of my comfort zone. I've thought about it, but I've never done it. And I have 2 friends, and they are taking me on a pony trek somewhere in North Yorkshire called, I think, Sutton Bank, and then they're planning on taking me to Hemsley for lunch. And that's why I mentioned right at the beginning of my video that friends are so important. They'll always be there for you. You don't need a lot of friends or acquaintances. You'll find when you go through a transition who your true friends are. So I'd just like to say thank you to my special friends. So as always, I'm going to end with, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment under the video, and I will keep on going, keep following, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you for watching. I'm back. I made a mistake. Well, I didn't tell you something very important. Seeing my recipe is called coffee overnight oats. I forgot the coffee because I was too busy gabbing. I've used 3 heaped tablespoons of instant coffee, and then I diluted it in a small espresso cup and added equally in my 3 jars. So this is the final goodbye. Bye.